Welcome back to the channel where we continue to talk about web strategy and digital success in your digital business. Today we are going to talk about the best metrics, and a lot of times the best metrics is really a discussion of understanding and obsessing over the metrics that will drive impact to your business. And every website usually falls into a bucket of e-commerce or lead generation or informational. And once you have your website and what you are trying to do with your website, we've talked about conversions, we've talked about some of the goals that you want to set. But then once you have that, you're really trying to influence three things: acquisition, people coming to the website; behavior, what people do on the website; and outcomes, what actually happens after they do what you want them to do. Now, for the acquisition, the number one metric for a lot of small to medium-sized businesses, and definitely small, is cost per acquisition. And basically, this is where you add all of your costs associated with marketing. And if you're doing SEO and email and all of that, you want to add all of those costs and divide it by the number of customers. That is it. It's CPA. It's the cost per acquisition. And how much are you spending on your marketing efforts? And that is a number that when you start off and you have a smaller budget, it's important to optimize that number. Now, the second thing you want to worry about is your click-through rate and the percentage of new visits. So those are the three metrics for acquisition that you want to focus in on. And again, that cost per acquisition, everything has a cost. Figure out that cost per acquisition and always be trying to optimize how much you're spending to acquire those customers and then to acquire those leads. And you want to back that out. Again, you have a cost per lead, and then what percentage of those leads become customers. That is your CAC, or your customer acquisition cost, or your cost per acquisition. Click-through rate is another acquisition customer type of thing that you want to focus in on. And remember that small things can make big impacts on your click-through rate. And you really want to focus in on that. A simple change in your email subject, a simple change in your paid search headlines can impact your click-through rate. And if you can get your click-through rate to get higher, ultimately that is going to hopefully drive more quality traffic. If the traffic is good and the click-through rate goes higher, you should be able to drive more conversions, because normally there's a little bit of a causation between click-through rate and conversion rate. If you're not seeing that trend, then there's a disassociation. Either you're promising something on your click-through call to action that isn't being delivered on your landing page, but normally when your click-through rate goes up, your conversion rate should go up, and you constantly want to be optimizing for that. For the behavior, the main things you want to talk about is your bounce rate, your checkout abandonment rate, your page depth, your loyalty, and your events per visit. Those are the common metrics that you want to focus in on for your behavior for people that actually come to your website. Now, for the bounce rate, again, a lot of people know what this is. This is the number of people that land on one page and then leave before visiting other pages. Now, if you have a one-page landing site or a one-page website, your bounce rate isn't as important. You may want to add in some things like scroll depth and things like that. But a very small percentage of your people and visitors to your website will see more than a couple of pages. So you want to focus in on your bounce rate. This ultimately tells you, did the right people come to your website? Did you bring in the right kind of traffic to even have a chance at converting them on your web page and getting those conversions and events to happen? Another thing is page depth. So again, this really is twofold. How many people visit more than one page, and how many pages of your website do people need to see in order to get them to convert. Normally you want to have a call to action on every major landing page of your website. But again, if you more have a one-page website or a one-page landing site, or you're bringing them to a specific section, then you want to look at your scroll depth. How far down, how much time did they spend on that one page before they bounced off there? And what percentage of those visitors did you get them to convert? So I like to keep track of my loyal customers, my people that just came kind of looky-loo type customers, but your page depth report will show you the depth of page visit for each of the visitors that you are trying to attract. Now for the outcomes of your website, again, you're always trying to get them to either do a call to action, a goal, email, phone call, fill out a form, or actually purchase if you have a website. Macro conversions, micro conversions, your per visit conversion rate, and your assisted conversions. You need to know these numbers, but again, you start off with one number, your macro conversion rate. How many people converted that came to your website? Once you understand this number and can segment out your buyers from your non-buyers, or your people that fill out forms from your non-form fillers, this will be a start to understand your macro conversions on your website. Then the other thing you want to talk about is what pages did they visit, how many pages did they visit, what purchase path did they take. This is the ultimate outcomes that you're trying to get from visitors to your website. So you've got your acquisition, and you've got your behavior, and you've got your outcomes on your website. These are the key metrics. Each of those, again, start off with 5 to 6 metrics that you want to obsess over and really get to know those metrics, what they mean, where the data is coming from, is the data accurate, understanding those 4 to 5, 6 metrics, and then optimize. That will improve your overall web performance. And think about these as you start to build out your dashboard. You only want to have a dashboard that reports on the optimized key metrics. That is a look at your key metrics that you want to monitor to have a better web strategy.